Hello, this is Joe Pryor, the virtual real estate team in Oklahoma, where we specialize in investments for real estate investors in the Oklahoma City and Tulsa market. There's a lot of parameters we put together in terms of how we decide what to recommend to our investors. Now, certainly we have a team of people, not only in the virtual real estate team, but our insurance people, our property managers, etc. We have a lot of partners here that we communicate, and everybody's got to agree on a property in order for it to be something that you're going to see or we're going to recommend. But one of the responsibilities that I personally have that I think is extremely important is return on investment analysis. Now, this is something I'm trained in. I've been trained residentially and commercially, and honestly, if you talk to most realtors and they say, well, can you give me the cash on cash of this property, or what's the internal rate of return? They will not know what they're talking about. They'll go, I don't know if I understand that completely, but they say they work with investors. But this is something that I really want you to know, and I will explain it to you in a meeting. I'll tell you how we calculate it. In fact, if you look at my playlist here on my YouTube channel, you'll see that I have a full 28 videos that go over every aspect of investing in real estate. And actually, the program I use to put everything in based on an Excel spreadsheet, you'll see me entering in the numbers and saying, this is what this means. Now, that's what I've been trained in. And if you don't have this training, it's really hard to tell somebody what they're making because, I'm a diversified portfolio person. Most investors I deal with, they've got fixed incomes, they've got stocks, but they got a lot of real estate. And they want me to be able to tell them what their annual return on investment is. Now, there's some things that are not as important as others. Like, for instance, if you ask what the capitalization rate is, in residential, that is not as important as other things are. It's really important when it comes to commercial. If I'm selling an office building or a warehouse or something of that nature, a strip center, you bet, that's a big, big deal. Now, the other thing is cash on cash return. That is something that I'll explain it to you, but basically it's the kitchen sink. It's your operating expense plus things that are not in there, which is principal and interest if you have a mortgage. And so in that case, then what I've got to do is say, this is either positive or negative. In other words, am I subsidizing my investment or am I making money? Then the other thing is, how much is this property appreciating on a year-to-year basis? In other words, is it 4.13? Is it 6.25? What does it happen to be? Because this is like compound interest. It keeps going up every year based on what the new amount is that your property is worth. It makes a huge difference over the course of, say, 7 years, which is what I usually use. And then finally, on that 7 years, it's called internal rate of return. So this is a combination of everything that we put into the parameters, and we put everything in there, including vacancy, maintenance, property management fees, reinvestment, whatever it happens to be, the kitchen sink is in there. And I compute that to see what your annual return on your money is. How much are you making on your money every year? And what I'm seeing right now with these low interest rates, depending on its pre-tax or after-tax, because there's ways that you never pay tax on real estate. It's called a 1031 tax-free exchange. So right now, I have some investments that are yielding 19% per year that you can buy right now on new construction at around $250,000. Think about making that much money on a conservative investment. Or if you pay the two kinds of taxes you've got to pay, it's still about 13 to 14. So we're going to look at these numbers before we ever do anything with you. And so have a meeting with me, request a Zoom. I'll be happy to go over this in detail, or look on my YouTube channel for the playlist.